Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Eve. Come on the channel. Today I want to bring back an old series I used to do where I talked about games I thought was that were going to come to the Nintendo Switch. Now, obviously, I haven't done one in a while, for about a year, so I want to talk about Battlefield and why Battlefield could come to the Nintendo Switch and why it couldn't. So first of all, let's take into account that Battlefield in itself is a hugely popular shooter franchise, beaten by only really Call of Duty in popularity, and obviously it's published by EA. So that is a huge reason why it may not come to Switch, because if you don't know, EA has shown very little interest in Nintendo Switch as a platform, with them only really releasing FIFA and Need for Speed, whilst obviously on other platforms they release tons more games. Obviously there are a few other exceptions. There are obviously stuff like Plants vs Zombies and whatnot on Switch, but EA hasn't put too many games on Switch compared to Xbox and PlayStation. And while Battlefield is also, when it comes to the size of the actual game, it's like 80 to 100 plus gigs, it might be too much for the Switch to really take in storage, due to Switches only having 32 gigabytes built-in storage, as well as, memory cards only go up to 1 terabyte. So that to be fair, they could do it. It could probably fit on a Switch, but also it'd have to be optimized for the Switch, because remember the Switch has a lower frame rate and and obviously isn't 4K. So that's another reason why it could be a bit of a struggle. So they'd have to make a completely new version of the game for it to run on the Switch. Now, do I think it would happen? I would personally like it to happen. I'd like to be able to play Battlefield on the go with my friends and whatnot if I'm on Switch. But obviously, you've got to take into account that it costs a lot of money to port it. Now, why do I think it would happen? Well, the Nintendo Switch is obviously a hugely successful console. There are over 100 million Switches have been sold. And personally, I feel like Nintendo would be missing out. EA would be missing out if they didn't put at least a Battlefield game on the Switch. It doesn't have to be a new one. It could be Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Battlefield Bad Company, Battlefield Bad Company 2, Battlefield 1943, 1942, something. There are so many different Battlefield games that they could port an old one, call it remaster, and slap it on the Switch, and I'd be happy with it. There's so many Battlefield games in general, but I don't think, when I think of Battlefield games coming to Switch, I don't think Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 2042 or Battlefield 5. I personally feel like we will see, a Battlefield game that's older, a bit more long in the tooth, one that's already run on stuff like the Xbox 360 and the PS3 in the past, so it should be easy to port, unless we somehow see a cloud version of the game. Now, we know EA has allowed cloud gaming versions of some of their games, because obviously some of their games are available through Xbox Game Pass with cloud, but I don't think we're going to see Battlefield 2042 on Switch. I don't think we'll see Battlefield 5 on Switch or Battlefield 1. I do think some of the older Battlefield games, like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, or Battlefield Bad Company spin-offs, I personally love to see the Bad Company spin-offs on the Switch. I do hope Nintendo is able to make a deal with EA for those games. And I hope EA does see the value in putting their games on Nintendo's platform. But for those who don't know, Nintendo and EA have always had sort of like a love-hate relationship, and it's always been quite a lot of friction, because Nintendo has always made their systems quite weak, power-wise, to make them cheaper and more widely available, and EA is not really happy about that. EA's never really been the best for that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below, guys. Would you like to see Battlefield come to Nintendo Switch? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Would you buy it? Would you not buy it? If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. I've been EveCade, and I'm signing out. Peace.